There are 3 different categories of restaurants, and Osteria is the most casual. So they want it to be very, very casual, family friendly. You know, you go, you have some pizza, you have a beer, and it's chill. You know, come after work, come as you are kind of place.
Ain't it great? Season 8. We're back with the No Dishes podcast. Once again, brought to you by our friends at Visit Bloomington. Check them out at visitbloomington.com. It's a great resource, even if you're just a local looking for something to do. Also, all of our other advertisers on this episode, they help make this whole thing possible. So please show them some love. Anyways, play that theme song.
Hey, say, honey, let's go out to eat. Relieve our culinary duties. With all these restaurants to sweep us off our feet, they're bound to turn us into foodies. Oh, no dishes, no dishes, no dishes. We'll have a bottle of wine for lights and have a good time. No dishes, no dishes.
All right, it's 2025. We're back. That feels crazy to say. We're a quarter of a way through the century, which is depressing, but also cool at the same time. I'm really excited. We're back at season 8, and I have one of my favorite restaurants that I butcher the name of all the time. And then I say it, and people are like, oh, that's how you say it. I'm like, no. I'm not the authority. But we're going to find out today, I think. I'm really excited. We have assistant front of house manager. We have Ames Eggers, and we have front of house manager Emilia Nicholson. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was telling you guys before, we've had Rags on before, back when we were audio only. We had exec chef Cody Gradoff on, back when we were audio only. I talked to Cody. He's like, we've got some really cool people that I think would be awesome to represent, and you guys are here. Well, and I mean, I get carry out way more than I dine in, and Ames almost always is the one taking care of me.
You have been in for a long time.
I know. Don't out me like that.
You need your sandwiches.
I know. Yeah. You're like, our revenue is dipped. Like, we counted on the Jordan Davis $200 a month just to keep the lights on. But no, you guys are very busy. I know it's tough to get a table if you don't have a reservation. But can you just kind of walk us through a little bit about the history of Osteria? Am I saying it? How do you guys say it?
Osteria Rago.
Okay. Yes. All right. So not that far off.
Yeah, no. I think a lot of people say Osteria, but I think that's just, our English wanting to pronounce that E a little different.
Yeah. Well, that makes me feel better because that's, I don't say Rago, but I say Osteria. And they are the ones that are like, Osteria. I was like, I don't know, that sounds fancier and nicer. You might be right. So thank you. Now I feel better.
But we get Osteria Ragu quite a bit.
The Ragu makes us laugh.
Like, Ragu's the sauce, Rago's the name.
Yeah, you're like, oh, that's where I didn't know O's made that sound. Yeah. You're probably a little kinder than that. But.
Yeah, but sorry, what was the question?
Yeah, you're fine. Well, just about the history. I mean, Osteria's been open, 6 years now?
That was 18.
Yeah.
218.
Wow, time flies. That's crazy.
Sure
but they were figuring things out the year before that. Nick started making homemade pasta, and that was a big buzz. Like, what? Nick's is making pasta? Yeah, at the Blooming Foods. What are you talking about? So, yeah.
I always forget there was the Blooming Foods back there because it carried chocolate mousse ice cream. We delivered there. It was such a cool little hip back in the alley grocery store.
Oh,
almost
cool.
like a bodega feel, the only closest thing we have in Bloomington without maybe cats running around, and you can't get a chopped cheese. But I remember going to some event there where before Osteria had opened and they were trying out the fresh pasta, and it was up in that room upstairs. It's like this private room up front. I don't know how to describe it.
Nick's?
Yeah, of Nick's.
Oh.
And they brought us this like fresh pasta, and we were like, what? This is so good. I can't wait for this place. And no offense, there's a lot of good Italian in town, but I'm consistently like, if people are like, hey, we need good Italian, I'm like, have you been to Osteria? Yeah.
We try.
Yeah, so that was Rags and Susan, I believe, right? That because I had heard that they were trying places out in Italy and really trying to find how to do it authentically.
Yes.
And then they're just like, okay, here's how we do it. We make it fresh.
Yeah, I know you were there more at the beginning. I just know history and things that Susan has told me, but they wanted to keep it true to the the Osteria feel, because in Italy there are three different categories of restaurants, and Osteria is the most casual. So they want it to be very, very casual, family friendly. You know, you go, you have some pizza, you have a beer, and it's chill. You know, come after work, come as you are, kind of place.
I love that. Okay, see, I didn't know we had classifications. Like, what's the American? I want to know the American equivalent of that.
Like cafe.
Yeah, cafe, pub,
brasserie, and
fine dining.
Yeah. No,
yeah, restaurante is like your fine dining.
Oh, we got trattoria.
That's cucina is on our logo as well. That's Italian kitchen.
Gotcha. Okay.
So it's like the best food in town, the tiny little hole in the wall.
I love it. So what? How long have both of you been there? And kind of how did you find yourself working at Osteria?
Start or I start?
You've been there longer. You start.
I was at Finch's Brasserie
Nice.
for years before, and Candace and Jeff decided they were going to take lunches off the hours. So I went across the street to my friend Susan Bright and said, "Hey, you want me to come work at Osteria for lunchtime? I want to do lunches. What's going on?" She said, "Yeah, come on." So then I started. That was February, March 2019. So I just come over there and do lunches for Susan, and Meg Torrance was managing at that time. But so it's like, well, I got to be with good people, good food.
Yeah. So and then you were still doing dinners at Finch's?
Yep.
What a great 1-2 punch, because
I
Finch's
know.
was always my favorite. Like I did birthday dinners there. I still haven't found a duck confit.
There isn't going to be one like that.
No, I know. That's the only, like, I've had duck confit and this is good, but it's not Finch's.
Not Jeff Finch, yep.
Man, okay, well, cool. What a great.
So then, but at Finch's, Rags and Susan were brainstorming their, Osteria ideas.
Oh,
They'd be
okay.
over there with notebooks and such, having a quick date for lunch and working on the Osteria stuff.
There you
You're
go.
like, oh,
So
that's going to be fun.
You got to
Whenever that happens.
Yeah.
Literally
Oh, that's
from the
cool.
ground
And then
up.
it actually became reality.
Yep.
That's so sweet. That's I love that. So you were there very shortly after they opened.
Yep. I think they were about a year, and I had dined there maybe 3 times, just checking it out, excited for that to be a spot. Then I was like, well, I need to go over there.
Yeah. Did you work at Finch's up until it closed?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then now you're just all Osteria.
Completely
When did
Osteria.
they close?
It was right then as well. The March, January, February, March. It was right there in the early 2019s.
So yeah.
Yep.
pretty-
And then I'm trying, what was I'm blanking on what they were called right at
The Roost.
The Roost. Thank you. Yes.
She rebranded, and it was the Roost with a tiny bit of differences here and there, but the food was still, that brainchild. But then ended up being finished with that, so moved on.
And now we get Lenny's there, and I know
Yeah,
Candace
that's
has
weird.
Monopole,
Uh-huh.
which I've yet to go to
Same
yet.
here.
Really?
I have not been down there.
Yeah. It's I've heard great things. I think it used to be open, and now it's like maybe reservation only, but
Yeah.
people can chime in and let us know. But I want to go. I mean, it's a wine bar. I quit drinking, so it hasn't been high on my list. But I saw, this was maybe a year or two, they were still doing like small plates that looked good. So I'm like, okay, I need to get in there. So Emilia, how about yourself? How'd you find yourself at Osteria?
Yeah, I just kind of happened upon it. Same thing. I had eaten in a time or two before that. I actually had a friend who was serving there, and I had applied. I was working retail at the time. Yeah, yeah.
I've made my feelings on retail well known.
Yeah. Her name was Allie. I assume you worked together, Allie Kempf, but she had left before I started.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of basically her replacement. But yeah, I had applied and hadn't heard back anything for a while, and then summer happened, and I called up, and I probably actually talked to Ames and was just like, I'm checking on my application, like I really need a job. And then I got a call back, and Meg was actually the one who interviewed me. I was the last of her hires, so that was a really cool thing. She was great. But yeah, I just started as a server. It was actually my first serving job. I'd been a host, and I'd worked in food service before. I worked at Right Food Court for a little bit. on campus. Yeah. So you kind of learn everything there because you have to work all the concepts.
Yeah.
So I had my hand in food service for a little bit, but I had never served before. So that was a new experience for me. And after working retail and then my first night serving, I like made real money.
You're like,
and
what have I been doing this
like
whole
as
time?
much I had like would have for a full paycheck at my retail job. And I was like, oh, okay. So I've been wasting a ton of time. And my mom had always told me, like she thought I would be a great server and I was really personable and she thought I'd be good at it. And I was like, yeah, I actually love this. And and I feel like the Osteria didn't really become like because I was still in school at the time, like a critical part of my life until the pandemic hit. And it was my graduation. So spring 2020 was when I graduated college.
Oh, man. I feel so bad. That's so tough.
Unfortunate timing. But no one knew how to handle running a business during that time. Absolutely no one. This was new to the whole world. But the way that Susan and Rags really took care of their employees during that time, I was like, okay, I'm locked in.
Yeah, let's go.
Like
I'm here for you.
I didn't have any plans. I didn't have like a job lined up after school or anything. I think the pandemic hit, obviously, and morale went down and nobody knew what was going to be happening. So I was like, why am I going to plan to go somewhere else? We made it through. And I think that was such an incredible thing for the restaurant. During that time, I mean, a lot of people didn't make it out of that. Business wise. So I was just so grateful to be there during that time and to be taken care of. And I think we all grew really close during that time too, because obviously staff was small because we had to keep a small staff.
Yeah.
We had to cut our seating in half, which were already such a small place.
Yeah, that's tough.
So
we have to separate tables by how much?
Yeah. 6 feet. Like, okay, so we can have 3 tables. But also like people weren't really coming in. We had outdoor dining for a little bit.
How was it? Did you block off the alley or how did you pull that off?
So we actually had to borrow some tables from the Village Deli, some of their picnic tables.
Oh my gosh.
And we would, since they were closed that night.
What happened? I'm like, I don't even
blocked
remember
all this out. And she's like, please stop. I don't want to remember this.
I think we all did.
Oh my gosh.
I kind of forgot. Lauren brought it up the other day and I was like, whoa, outdoor seating.
Because I can picture the carry out and the masks and the putting food out in the foyer and then
waiting for people
I can see all of that very clearly. But then when we started seating back in the building, that
Wild.
I think all of us have tried to forget. You know, like, I don't really want to think about all that. Sanitizing pens every time after use. And
taking your temperature every time you walk in the building.
Yeah,
walking in
oh my gosh.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it was such a strange time, but such a, like I look, yes, bad things were happening, but I look back on that time so fondly because
we made it out together.
Yes, we really became a family, I think, during that time. And I think that just goes to show how like strong our staff is now and how close we are and how much everybody just has a common goal and cares about what they're doing. I think that just it's just a special place, and I can't speak highly enough, quite frankly.
yeah, I can tell. That's great.
Yep.
Are you wanting to move better, feel better, and live better? Look no further than Move Bloomington, where their small group personal training programs are designed to improve strength, balance, and flexibility. With a welcoming environment, their expertly guided workouts can help you feel supported in the life and activities you love in and out of the gym. Whether you're new to exercise, a lifelong athlete, or anywhere in between, their dedication to personalized programming will deliver sessions that meet you where you are. Get started today using the code NODISHES to get 50% off their 3-session Kickstart program. Well, it's just great because the service has always matched the level of food, which is saying something because the food quality and execution is so great. Shout out to Cody for that, you know. And it's it's just, you don't want to have a place you go and like, well, the food is great, but everyone's a little cranky. It's like, no, you're getting both at Osteria, you know? So what'd you get your degree in? And then you just decided, okay, well, I'm going to stick with, let's do this.
Yeah, funny enough. So I studied nonprofit management, and then I had a minor in arts management and urban development and planning. So really not what I was planning to do at all. I think it's great that I have those skills. I think I am applying them in different ways. Obviously, nonprofit accounting and for-profit accounting are very, very different. But I think for the most part, I don't feel like it went to waste at all. I'm glad and it was right place, right time situation anyway. But yeah, I was very, very passionate about working in the arts, and thought that was something that I wanted, to make a career. And I think for the most part, I still really am glad that I have that part of my life, but it's not something that I want to do for work. I think it's really nice to go home at the end of the day and be like, everybody ate pasta. Like everybody got fed, and there's nothing, more to stress about past that.
Well, and then it takes something you love and it doesn't feel like a requirement.
Exactly.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Ames?
I was going to say that my IU degree in sociology, I knew that my passion was always working with people. So what do? Just stick with the food service, the customer hospitality, and there you go.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've worked in restaurants for a long time. I know you have as well. So many people with degrees. So many people with degrees that are in the industry, and they're just like, yeah, like I could go get a job with it, especially after a while. But you're just like, I really just like what I do. Yeah. Vivi with Uptown, like she's got, I think dual degrees, and like she's just like, yeah, like that's great, and it's like neuroscience and something, and she's like, I just like working at Uptown. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm gonna stick to
surgery.
No, I just love.
Yeah.
And I think it's definitely the place 100%. I don't know if I could do the same for any place else, but Osteria, it's like the food is good, the people are great, and I really feel just a sense of community there. I'm like, there's so many different avenues too in the restaurant industry, and people forget that it's not just serving or cooking. There's so many other things to be done, and even like arts wise, like I take photos, I do the Instagram, Facebook, and
so you still have that expressive outlet.
Absolutely.
And you're getting paid for it.
Yeah, even better.
Like, let's go.
But I think that it's just the atmosphere and the place that really made me want to be there.
So how long was it until you were moved into management roles?
What year was that? I think I became the front of house manager right before 2023, I think it was.
Okay, when we started. I had about 3 years of serving under your belt, and they're like, Emilia, you're our gal. Like,
you want to?
I wish it was that. I mean, I think so we had a front of house manager. It didn't work out. They left, and the role just wasn't filled for a long time. Our general manager, now owner, Ian Fletcher, he was wearing a lot of hats at a particular time, and I was watching that happen and noticed that we just weren't getting what we needed, and also he didn't have the time, which is both are very fine and valid. Yeah. There was just so much going on and so many people who needed him at the time that we needed somebody of our own to be able to rely on.
And so you just kind of showed like, hey, I'm not, so you just start doing it, and they're like, oh, hey, like Amelia's rocking this.
I think I was just ready for a change. I knew I wanted to still be at Osteria, but I was kind of past, I don't know. I think serving is an incredible, incredible job, but it takes a certain kind of heart and spirit. And not that I don't think I have that, but I was not willing to sacrifice my heart like that anymore for
everything
figures. I know that sounds like but I know Ames knows what I mean.
It's just everything aligned perfectly for you to take on tasks that needed to be done, and there you go. You want to because you're going to do well. And there we went.
And I wanted to do well for you guys. I think that was also an important thing. I was like, this position needs to be filled, and if it's not going to be me.
But the want to had to be there, because what a commitment.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, okay, so.
Yeah.
I love that. I feel like I'm just sitting in on YouTube having a convo, and I'm just like, oh, this is good. Yeah, just like let it out.
The need and the want were definitely of equal caliber at that point, because I was ready to do something else, but yeah, we needed somebody to want to do something else.
Well, it all worked out. Obviously, you guys are plugging along. It's been a couple years now, and you guys are doing the damn thing.
Check. Coming to you this summer, it's the Smithville Communications Summer Concert Series in Ellettsville. Brought to you by B97 and Hoosier Country 105.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Enjoy live music every Saturday from May 24th through July 26th. That's 10 weeks of music every Saturday evening from 6:30 to 8, located at the Marcy J. Lewis Park. And did I mention it's free? Dance the night away with the Smithville Communications Summer Concert Series in Ellettsville.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's
It's
cool.
a cool crew, man.
It is. It is so cool. I mean, there was a time we always talk about it where like it'd be just me and one other server closing a Wednesday night. Wednesday night is our wine night, half price bottles, bottle only selection.
Nice
if you want to
plug.
come
That was
through.
good. That was perfect. Yeah.
Only bottles only.
And there would just be two of us all night, just the phones, the door,
No hostess,
everything, just
no host.
running.
Oh.
What? That would be actually, I would never, ever, ever ask anybody on my staff to do that now. Like 2 people, but the need wasn't there. Like we didn't, I mean, we could have maybe used a host, but we didn't have the business like we do now. Like we are fully booked.
The
every
evolution
night,
is
Tuesday,
crazy.
Saturday, every night. It's
What has gone down is just crazy. That little spot.
Yeah. Well, it's again small space, but even if you were in a larger space, I'm confident it would still be
I think
full.
so too. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
But yeah, you guys book out. I've reached out and I've not been able to get a table. I'm just like, what is this? I'm just kidding. But I was like, no, but I'm just like, I genuinely,
No.
when that happens, you know, at a local place, they're like, yeah, dude, like we don't have any of them. That's awesome. That means they're crushing it. It means you're busy. It means you're succeeding. I mean,
Absolutely.
we've got with the Chocolate Mousse, we have a brand that's been around forever, and I know how hard it is to be profitable. It takes a lot of work to barely be profitable.
Right.
And so just to see any new
Yeah.
places coming up and doing what you guys are doing, and it's been sustained now. It's just awesome. That's what we want. We want a thriving local restaurant community.
Absolutely.
And you guys are like the poster child for it, I feel like, at this point.
Oh.
And I like what you said about if we did have more space, we could do more business, because I think that's something that people don't realize a lot, is that we are at capacity.
Yeah. So let's give people an idea. How many tables, seats do you guys have?
Depends. So total tables.
Right. Configuration can change. So that's what she
17
meant by
tables total.
That's
like
wild.
four
Yeah.
top tables. But if 2 of them are together, that takes away 2
Yeah.
of the seats. So it
So approximately seating for what, 70 or so?
Yeah,
less.
65.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like 65 is like very, very max.
Uh-huh.
So when you're popping off, how many servers do you have on the floor?
3. No more than 3 usually.
That's great. That reminds me of the old Sweetgrass days where
Oh,
we would
boy.
just run 3 servers and be all. Do you guys do sections or just pure
Rotate.
rotation?
Small
Okay.
restaurant, rotate
Yeah,
the whole thing.
Yeah. Hope you don't
We've
forget
tried
about your
it all,
random
but
table in the
we're
corner. Yeah.
good on rotation.
I think
always-
rotation works out best. And also, I think it keeps everybody responsible for everything. It's not just me and my section.
Yeah.
It's us as
When
a
you're walking by
whole.
other people's
Yeah.
tables and you're pre-bussing
Yep.
just because you're walking by anyway. You
Absolutely.
have full hands in, full hands out. you
Yep.
know? So if you guys obviously have been there for a while. You've gotten to try the food a lot.
Yeah.
If you have someone come in and they're like, I've never been here before. What do I have to try?
Ooh. I kind of go down the list
Yeah.
of, it's mood dependent. So here's
Always.
Mm.
Yes.
here's a little talk about this. Here's a little talk about this. You want to talk about this? Sandwiches, pizza, entrees, pasta. It's mood dependent.
Do you
Every-
have a personal favorite for you, regardless of mood?
Ooh.
Let's see.
We ask the hard hitting questions on no dishes.
I think the cacio e pepe is my favorite of all time. Just super, super simple cheese and pepper.
Classic.
I love
But
it.
it's done, in that place's vein. So everyone does it all over the world. How's ours? It's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. Well, and again, all the pastas made fresh
Mhm.
in-house.
In-house. Yep.
Not too many places are doing that.
Nope.
Very few. How about you, Amelia? Favorite dish?
Classic always spaghetti ragu. I love our ragu. Meat sauce, beef, pork, tomato sauce. Just
There you go.
classic, never bad. It's perfect
there's
every time.
It looks phenomenal. And for viewers noticing, this is the first time ever, you guys can see what we're looking at on our big screen in here. And you can see that spaghetti while Amelia talks about how amazing it is.
Oh, look, the McManus peanut.
Oh Throwback. We need to update those pictures.
I don't think anyone's just like, they don't have that wine anymore.
I will say crowd favorite or like house favorite, like year after year after year, ever since I've been there. I'm sure ever since Ames has been there. Eggplant rollatini. Mm-hmm. Everybody loves the eggplant rollatini.
The one I can't get away from is the chicken marsala.
Me, yes.
I just cannot get away from it. Like, I don't do it at lunch.
People do.
But I like usually just like, that's when I do dine in, we're doing charcuterie board. I'm getting the, chicken marsala. Normally for lunch, it's the sandwich salad, which you stopped doing, I believe.
Correct.
So
get rid of half.
That's fine. Yeah. Well, it's weird because people ask me literally just last week. Someone was like, "Hey, top 3 restaurants in town," and I'm always like, "Okay, well, Osteria," and then I'm not going to get my actual top 3, but Osteria's in there. I'll tell you that. And
tell us later.
But I'll follow. Yeah. But then I followed up with, "But I haven't been in like 6 months," and it's weird because it's just you get in there's so many places to eat, but it's like it's not a reflection on Osteria. It's just. And then I get to that point where I'm like, oh, I haven't been going there. I remember I haven't been going there. And then I go and then I'm like, oh, now I'm back in my weekly rotation. And I'm just waiting for Amos to be like, where you been? Thought you were sick, One of the things that Osteria does incredibly well, and I think people forget about, is the pizza. They talk about best pizzas in town and, you're like Mother Bears, Pizza X, Da Vinci. I do it myself. I'm speaking from experience. And you guys... Every time you have a pizza of the month, and every time I read the description, what, do you not anymore?
No, we do. We do.
No,
we new one started today. So
okay, yeah. But every time I read the description of it, it's like when I think you can't top it, I'm like, man, they're like putting every topping that I would want on there.
Oh, so yeah.
If you just started one, so this will come out in 2 weeks, but what's the February pizza of the month?
Yeah.
Can I put my phone?
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't have it.
The hot honey drizzle.
The hot honey drizzle.
People asked for that because it was on a pizza of the month, a couple years ago or whenever. And they said, you still have that honey?
Yeah, they asked for it.
No, not right now. That was that pizza special.
Mm-hmm. Hot honey's, it's hot right now. I mean,
it's on this one.
Yeah, pun intended. They Heartwork just started doing pizza, which is really good, like a Neapolitan style, and they do a hot honey with theirs. And yeah, you should go over there and try it if you have.
Yeah, we were talking about Heartworks too. Yeah. We're same wave right now. So they're talking about their beer. Want to check it out?
Here we go. Garrett's got
look at you.
With the assist, G-Man.
And that salami, so the salami that comes on it, so fitting, is heart-shaped.
Yes.
It's so cute. Like it comes in a heart-shaped log. Very, very cool.
See, ricotta, God.
We love ricotta.
Dude, ricotta's my like number, maybe behind just like sausage, but ricotta's like top tier pizza topping.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. What else? What else is on it? Spicy roasted red pepper.
Yeah, we
got fried basil.
Peruvian pearl peppers. Say that 3 times
Peruvian
fast.
pearl peppers, and they're the cutest little shape. Oh, I have a picture.
Yeah, speaking of the pandemic, you got the PPP in there. Anyway, thanks, Garrett. I needed that chuckle.
There she is.
Oh, we got a picture. Let's see.
I can send that to you if you want
to. Yeah. Anyway, I'll tell you, it looks great. What's the green on there?
That's fried basil.
The fried basil. Oh, okay. Oh, and you guys see, some places I order ricotta and I just get the tiniest little things of it. And I'm like, I want, because ricotta's like texture. That's like why I love it so much. So I want that big old puff ball. You have just like creamy ricotta on there. That's my number one. I've said, when people are like, Jordan, what's your favorite pizza in town? Again, it's a mood thing, but I usually defer Mother Bears, but they don't have ricotta. And I'm just like, so I've talked to Mom, like, Mark, buddy, please. I know you guys are raking it in. I know business is great, but pretend it's not, and you need to make a change.
He's like, Jordan, we're not going to do any ricotta. So just...
that's exactly how what I said. Were you there? Yeah. It's like, no, we're not doing it. And then you guys, I'd be remiss if we didn't discuss the desserts that you guys offer. The No Dishes podcast is brought to you by VisitBloomington.com. VisitBloomington.com is the best resource for restaurant and culinary information, special events, fun activities, places to stay, and more in our area. We share a similar mission here on the No Dishes podcast of highlighting local businesses and the people who make our community unique. We can't thank them enough for hopping on board. Check them out at visitbloomington.com to easily plan your next meal, visit, or night out on the town. Well, just take us down a little walk down dessert lane. on your standard offerings when someone comes in.
Well, the tiramisu, of course, is there.
Yeah.
Cannoli with chef's flavor changes, just like a soup of the day, cannoli of the day.
Nice.
And they've been really rocking those
They
out.
have.
They love to do a new cannoli,
The
which is
orange
cool.
raspberry.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Ooh,
yeah, they're
okay.
really getting creative with the cannoli flavors.
They're
I
having
think.
fun. And then house-made gelato.
There you go.
Cody
13
always has
flavors as well.
vanilla, chocolate, mostly salted caramel is available.
Ooh,
Sometimes
okay.
he whips out some crazy flavor.
The Brown County coffee.
Oh yeah, the
usually as
coffee
well.
flavor. Brown County
But-
coffee.
Yeah, he'll do all kinds of stuff, and it's such a cool thing also to have rotating things like that.
I know.
I think it's something that people
cool.
can continue to come back for and be like, oh, so what's the
Absolutely.
cannoli flavor today?
And patrons who aren't fully familiar with Osteria say, "Where do you get your gelato?" And I'm just like, "Oh, friend, it's made in the building, just like everything else. It's made right here."
You're like, this is why we are good. This is why we are booked out. It's not hard to figure out like that, make stuff in house and it leads to success. I think more people don't do it because they don't have the team to do it.
Right.
So it just shows
yeah.
you what Cody and his crew have been doing for years now. Again, I'm going to give Cody Great off his flowers a million times on this
Absolutely.
episode.
Me too.
Oh,
Because
please.
he's like such a great human being, an amazing chef. And I mean, he's participates in the Community Kitchen Chefs Challenge,
Yep.
which is for a great cause, and he always crushes at it. I know he did at least this last one. And did a really good job. But yeah, you can't pull off a true scratch kitchen unless you have people like him with an amazing support staff.
Absolutely.
And it comes from the top, and it trickles down, and
Well,
it's
yeah, you
obvious.
Had to have the vision of this is what
Yeah.
we are doing. You either get on board or you're not.
Yep.
Maybe it's not the right spot for you. It's like, have you tried Olive Garden? It's like, yeah, you don't want to make everything from scratch.
What's that?
Oh, is
I'm just
that
kidding.
a curse word?
No.
Yeah, if you say Olive Garden in
Fazoli's.
Osteria, you just go up into flames. Yeah.
Fazoli's. It's another one. It's just what are we talking about?
I've got a soft spot for Fazoli's.
That's okay. That's
Fine.
okay.
No, I'm just saying it's like
No,
shitty Italian.
I am spoiled. I have not eaten Italian food for anywhere else except for like on vacation out of the country for years. Like
That's how I'll be somewhere like, do you want ice cream? I'm like, no, I get ice cream all the time. Like,
Yeah.
And I get good homemade
why would
ice
I
cream.
go anywhere
Why would
else?
Yeah, exactly. Anyway, Ames, can you walk us through kind of your back? I mean, you talked a little bit about Finch's, but take us to the beginning. And
Okay,
then let's
well,
catch up to present day.
the very, very beginning is Blooming Foods on the east side. We used to call it the big one.
Okay, have you
Big
grown up in
one.
Bloomington?
No, I came down to IU in 1993.
Okay, from
So I'm Indianapolis,
India. Okay, cool.
just up the road.
Yeah.
So then Blooming Foods, and I would actually from that east side deliver grab and go packages to the Osteria building, that Blooming
Yeah,
Foods.
that old, yeah.
So that's a full cute circle there.
I love that. Yeah.
So then Blooming Foods led to the Limestone Grill with Tad DeLay and Linda Ripperger.
Where was that located?
That's right behind the big Kroger on east side. Now it's a
okay.
Thai place. What's it called now?
Bangkok Thai.
Yes.
Yeah.
But that was Limestone Grill for all those years.
I had heard that name before, but I think that was
a good
before my
spot.
time.
That was a good
there
local
it
mom
is.
and pop spot.
Bloomingpedia.
Limestone Grill. Yeah.
wow.
Oh, cute.
Oh no, yeah, they got the sign on there.
Yeah, that was another tight little group. Kind of the family feeling, crew-wise, small family little joint.
Garrett, can you go to the Bloomingpedia on that? I want to see if they show like when it was operational. Okay, so it closed.
It was 99 to
2011.
210 to 11. Yeah.
The former owners of Opie Taylor's.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Tad DeLay.
So I actually was in town while I was open, but that was when I moved down here in 2009. So I guess I hadn't expanded out to the east side food scene yet in my first couple of years. It was just like everybody, you're just downtown on campus. And I worked at O'Charlie's on the west side. So I was familiar with the west side, maybe not the east side so much, but interesting. I'm glad you mentioned them because I've heard Limestone Grill before, but I didn't know the lore.
Yeah, there's a lot of history we could go into that we won't right now. But that was a great, great spot. And when they decided to shut down, I went to the Scholars and Bakehouse up on the interstate, to be like, what will I do until I find my next restaurant? The next restaurant was Finch's. I went in there to dine one night, and I secretly handed Candace my resume. I'm like, I'm a restaurant person. Here you go. She called me right back. And then I was there for the next era. And then when they shut down, that's when I went across the street to Osteria.
There you go. I love it. So what was the menu like at Limestone? I want to be filled with nostalgia, and I want to know what I was missing out on.
There were things there that you went there for. Let's see, the scallops were done, seared perfectly, 3 huge scallops on your base of lobster broth. Ooh. The Lindy melt at lunch, a ham and asparagus with this crazy mayonnaise toasted up. His she crab soup, people raved over.
She crab soup?
Snow crab, she crab. Let's see, what else was a big hit? The trout, of course. His calamari was seared, wasn't fried.
So a really good seafood spot. Yeah.
Some seafood, but it wasn't a seafood spot.
Right.
It was kind of eclectic.
New American,
some French influence there. The farfalle, foresta, mushroom and pasta. He was doing it all.
Oh, here we go. Look, Garrett found an old menu.
Oh, gosh.
He had a flourless chocolate cake that people would come in and just, that's what they came in for.
Like, I was going to say, I feel like they were ahead of their time. I feel like every menu has a flourless chocolate cake now.
Yeah.
It's like, I know it's been around for a long time, but I'm noticing it more and more. Like every single dessert menu.
The chicken francais. Oh, boy. Oh, look, there's a duck confit.
The open fit. Oh, yeah. Crispy duck confit. $21.50 back then.
Oh, yeah. And then the barbecue. Tad started doing his barbecue that he would sell at farmer's market and such.
So why did they end up closing?
They just needed to be done.
Yeah. Okay. I get it. Yeah. Absolutely.
A long time doing it and ready to kind of do the retiring.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
tough. Restaurant, just had a conversation with someone who's leaving the industry after a long time. They're just like, can't do it anymore. Mm-hmm. It can take a toll on you, and even to get to that point, it takes a special kind of person to stay in the industry, for a very, very long time. I'd still take it every day over retail though.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, retail.
Oh, yeah.
But for example, Linda and Tad sent me a card at Christmas, so we're all still tight. It's just that kind of feeling,
Yeah.
I always find the good spots.
You do.
Yeah. I was going to say, it's for as long as you've been doing it, it's a limited number of spots, but all just like
hit after hit.
Exactly. Yeah. Just play the hits, baby, Emilia, how about you? Are you originally from Bloomington, or?
I was actually born here in the old Bloomington hospital that they just tore down recently. But I didn't grow up here. I grew up in Connersville, Indiana, my whole life. If you're familiar, like Southeast Indiana.
Yeah.
And then I came back here for school in 2016. And then, graduated 2020 and just stayed.
Are you allowed to say the retail place you worked at?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know if I was allowed to
by all
say.
Means.
It was TJ Maxx. No shade. I still go there.
No, it's great. Great to shop at. I will say the last time I went, though, I forget if it was around holiday season or what, but the line, I'd never seen the line. As long as it was because it's already wrapped around and then back and then like towards the back of the store. I'm like, nope, like I don't get out of here. Anything enough right now to wait in that line.
Yeah, no, it was I worked there for years too. It was like a long time.
We've had a couple people actually got chocolate mousse come from TJ Maxx.
Really?
And it was their like first restaurant experience, and it's again very different. Do you
very
just
different.
like never fold clothes now out of protest?
No, I actually
you enjoy it?
If anything, I think it made me cleaner because after having to clean up after people, it's different than any type of regular retail store because it is just a free for all. Like they are selling anything from chips to designer fragrances. Yeah. Like there is anything and everything. So it was a mess. needless to say,
I like
at the
the
end
random
of the
stuff
night.
though. It's fun.
Oh,
You walk in,
yeah.
you're like, ooh, look at this little knick-knack. And
Where else? Where else?
Yeah. Oh, and then I'm such a sucker for the the impulse buys and the checkout.
The
I'll tell you,
candles.
have you guys been over to Academy Sports since it's opened?
No.
Over
No.
At the old Eastside Marsh. They've got the impulse buy nailed down. You have to walk through like 3 things before you can check out, and it's like jerky and cups and
it's all the stuff
this different stuff. And
Yep.
I'm like, be good. Like, trying to slap my hand, but it works every time. I end up spending $10 or $20 more than I planned walking up to the register.
I think a lot of places have adopted that method now because I see that at way too many places, and I am always a sucker for those last minute buys.
When you're standing there waiting for a second, you're like, oh, I probably do actually need some of that.
Yeah, like sea salt caramel popcorn, absolutely.
It's like the candy bar or pack of gum at the grocery store, but like times 10
on steroids.
Because you can end up spending up to $40 off this little stuff.
You guys know as much as anyone. You got to get that check average up. So they're just doing
you know what? They're doing that.
Better business, better community. For over a century, the Greater Bloomington Chamber of Commerce has been a cornerstone of business growth and community development. They are dedicated to helping local businesses thrive. Their business is all about your business. Join the Chamber today. Call 812-336-6381 or visit chamberbloomington.org to learn more. Are you guys, do you have any say in the wine selection over at Osteria? Or?
Yes.
We have all the say.
All the say.
Yes, we do, don't
That
we?
is, that's my favorite project of the year, quite frankly.
Yeah.
We do several months of tastings.
The staff is all involved.
Incredible.
Ian is sitting there
wine
with us
reps.
the whole time. Yep, Wine Reps City.
They love us. We love them. We have a great relationship with. I don't know if I want to say name
No,
of places.
yes, name them. You're totally fine.
Okay.
This is we have like no restrictions, pretty much.
Perfect.
Jill and Jessica.
Jill and Jessica, shout out.
Meister?
Yes.
She's the best.
Oh,
So
I've known
before-
her since Limestone.
Wow. Okay, so Jill.
We love Jill.
Before Chocolate Mousse, I was front of house manager at Sweetgrass, under the original owners, and I curated the wine list, went to Louisville, Cincinnati, Indy, did all the tastings, had
Yep.
the reps come in, did the bottle pours, the wine
So
pours.
you
all
know.
that. Yeah, I'm like pretty far. I'm removed now, so like a new Riesling or like some of the stuff that was cool back then probably is not cool anymore. So I'm very out of touch. But Jill was always one of my favorites. And then her daughter would play Food Truck Fridays for us, Lily, and was fantastic. But she, every now and then I still see her around town. I'm like, Jill, what's up?
That's awesome. Yeah, no, great. And it's a fun process, but we like to be very inclusive with our wine selection. We try to have a little bit of everything because everyone comes in looking for something different. Sweets, dries, whites, reds, anything you can think of. We are wine and beer only, so that does leave us a little bit more room to have a larger selection since we're not doing a bunch of cocktails.
Well, and with what you guys are,
Right.
I would walk in there and expect a badass wine list.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like, do you have a favorite glass pour right now?
Ooh, my personal favorite. I don't want to butcher the name, but it is a Toscana. It's like 90% Sangiovese, 10% something else. Grapes, but yes, that one right there, the Dogajolo.
13 in glass.
That's the
let's
part
go.
I was afraid I would butcher.
I just call it the dojo.
It's the dojo. I think I saw a pronunciation the other day when I was looking it up, and I realized I had been saying it wrong. So,
you
but
guys.
it's really, really light, nice, and drinkable, as they would
Yeah,
say.
you guys really do cover your bases just from this shot. I know Garrett can go up or down, but from just looking at it, you've covered a ton.
Yeah, and I think the classics are what we try to have the best of, like our Chianti, Montepulciano, Pinot Grigio, even things that people are definitely going to order when they go to an Italian restaurant. But then we also have stuff from Oregon. We have tons of stuff from California.
I've always just been a sucker for the wines from the Northwest, the Pinot Noirs, the Rieslings.
Good Oregon Pinot. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
That's the money, and that's what people want too. Like people don't want. You don't get a good Pinot Noir from Italy. That's not something that they're doing. They're not doing that
They're
over
not
there.
trying to do
and
it
that's totally fine. So it's good to have. Obviously,
I love wine
Yeah,
names
stuff from
too.
Argentina. We
you
have
good, what, Malbec from down there probably?
We have a white Malbec that's
a white, whoa.
I
didn't know that was
know.
a thing.
Yeah.
It's
See, that's
so
what I mean. I'm out
pretty.
of touch. I don't know what's going on anymore.
That
We
was
didn't
a
either.
really
It
cool
was
thing
kind
that
of a
Jill
cool-
brought to
yep.
us.
Trevento,
Jill.
white Malbec.
Yeah, the Trevento white Malbec.
So cool. And it's so clear. It
looks like water.
Literally.
Huh.
Incredible. But it's just no
Interesting.
skins. No
Have
skins.
have any of the reps pitched you guys on like NA wine yet?
Yeah.
Because I tried it. I know. Well, so I was
We know.
I just did a road trip and hit like Raleigh, Savannah, and Charleston.
Ooh, fun.
And the last night in Charleston had the most amazing dinner. And they had, I think it was called Plus Minus. It was like an NA wine.
Mm-hmm.
And I've done NA spirits and beers, and they're all great and pretty close. NA wine, though, it just didn't. I don't know if it was just this brand. It's just grape juice. And it's, now the thing is, you're paying that like $13 or $14 because it still costs the same as a regular glass, but you're just paying that to have that glass and feel like you're still apart and having a nice dinner with a glass of wine. And then you take a sip and you're like, oh, this is grape juice. But
I think you're
just still let down.
Logistically for us, it's not really made sense because it's like if you're going to do like a glass, then we open a whole bottle just to pour one glass, and then maybe somebody doesn't order it again for 2-3 weeks.
Exactly.
And then we have to open another bottle. So it's just like a waste thing. And it's also like, no one's going to order a whole bottle.
Well, no, exactly what I was going to say. Very rare you'd have to be like, give us a bottle of the
If they had maybe like a split, like a single serve, then that would maybe be a little bit easier.
Or if you guys ever invested in one of the, I forget what they're called, the systems that replace the oxygen with.
Yeah.
When you do the glass pours.
Oh no, I was thinking
like just a pump
of how Ian was talking about getting that, not portable, but that draft beer thing.
I know what you're talking about, but I forget.
But no, you're talking about like
I can't remember the name of them, but they're wine systems, and the whole idea is that you never have to toss away a bottle of wine, and so you do your glass pours from it, and when it does the pour, instead of oxygen, it puts in, I think, like hydrogen or something that keeps the wine from oxidizing.
Wow. It's like a whole thing.
Yeah, but they're expensive.
Got it. I didn't think it'd be a cheap Amazon buy.
Yeah. Okay. Is there anything in the future you guys want to let us know? Or are you guys going to keep rolling with what you're doing? Any No Dishes exclusives we can get?
I think
no pressure.
I think I can talk about this. I might talk about it, and then if I wasn't supposed to talk about it, I'll just text you and tell you don't put that
sweet.
in.
Garrett, leave it in regardless.
But we are introducing two new pasta shapes to our repertoire. So I think that's really cool.
Exclusive.
We are getting gemelli, which is like it almost looks like, are you familiar with Dots pretzels?
Yes, I am.
The two
like
twists.
The little twins.
Mm-hmm. Gemelli, we're getting her.
That's the name of an Italian restaurant.
I'm sure it is.
Gemelli pasta.
And why am I blanking on the other
nice.
ones?
Yeah. Ooh.
Is he gonna think about orchiette or
So you're doing
what's
pasta
that one
twist.
that flares out?
I can't think of its name.
What'd you
The
say,
one that
Garrett?
flares out.
It's it is a taki.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say throw it on screen.
Oh, and I'm blanking on the other guy's name.
So
The one that fans out like a trumpet.
Like it looks like a conch shell almost. Yeah.
Garrett, put in conch shell pasta. We'll see if that does the trick.
I want to say it starts with an F.
Not fusilli.
We'll do some digging. Fideo? The day Fideo?
No.
Well, we tried. Anyway, Osteria is going to tune in for shapes of pasta.
It'll come to me.
So has dinosaur shapes been discussed yet?
I think that's a little too far south.
We took that off the table.
Don't know if that'll come out of the machine quite right,
I just love nothing more than seeing a triceratops when I'm having my fine Italian,
I think a lot of people would enjoy that, quite frankly. The kids, at least.
Yeah, and the kids at heart.
What? No, that's close though. It's almost like
kind of like a bugle that flares out.
What I know it is on our Instagram because
there we go.
We've run a special with it.
Garrett's on the Insta.
Oh, that's it's gonna be that one right there, I believe.
That's
to see
the description.
I got you.
You said you do the social media, Emilia?
I do.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, it looks great.
Campanelli.
I'm saying it like I knew what it was. I was like, obviously.
Obviously.
Duh.
Campanelli. Yeah,
Okay,
there
so
she
let's
is.
show more. Yeah, but this thing it's very trumpety.
Oh, yeah, those are. Whoa, those are odd shaped. Huh. They're cool.
But it's
I don't
fun
think I've
because
ever
there's
seen those.
like
The way they hold sauce.
Yeah, they
is-
hold a little
that.
bit
Every time
in
I
that
look at
little-
the pasta, that's all I'm thinking.
and that little trumpet, and then
That's awesome.
there's nice texture at the skinny part. Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Well, thank you for
Yeah.
sharing that with us. And if you're not allowed, let us know.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's fine. They've already started selling it at Blooming Foods and stuff. So
Oh, perfect.
Yeah,
Sweet. Cool.
at least the gemelli. I don't know about it. We've run specials with the Campanelli already.
Well, so before we move on from Osteria, is there anything that we haven't talked about that you guys do or that you feel like people should know about? Because I mean, we went through pizzas, we went through dessert, went through the wine, talked about the back of house, your guys' experience. Pretty efficient.
Pretty efficient.
Yeah, I mean, food wise, I would like to shout out the risotto. We also
Oh,
rotate
yes,
the
sir.
risotto quite
Yes, sir.
regularly. The
Hey,
risotto,
yeah.
very very nice.
And I'm a
Very
fan
nice.
of just like how you guys do polenta. Anytime I've had it, it's been excellent. I noticed that when Garrett pulled that up. Ooh, Grand Marnier cake. Let's go.
Oh yeah, we haven't had that in a while. That was a fave, but wasn't she pretty?
All right. So the last thing we'd like to do is we like to give flowers. And I like that phrase today, apparently.
I like that phrase too.
To other, this is super cheesy and lame. I'll go ahead and share it. One of my senior quotes was a Kanye West quote, which sounds ridiculous now. This is 2008 before you judge me. But it was from his song "Everything I Am" on the Graduation album. It goes, "If you appreciate someone, you should go ahead and tell them. People never get the flowers while they can still smell them." It's good.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, that's what we talk about when we say the old Kanye.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, gosh.
But anyway, we like to give our flowers to other local restaurants, bars, whatever. So let's talk. Do you guys have a favorite like burger spot in town that you guys like to? If you're like, because I mean, that's you talked
boy.
about being in a mood, Ames. Like sometimes you're just in the like, I'm in a burger mood. I need a burger. Nothing else is gonna scratch that itch.
Well, Ames will tell you where her absolute favorite burger is from. Yeah. I think
Gyro?
the people would love to know.
Oh wow! I've never done. No.
That was like, I think that
Yes,
the people
this
would
is
love
what we
to
do this
know.
podcast for. Stuff like this because I didn't.
It's so random and so oddball, but that, and Chris, my husband, Chris MG,
Yeah.
I think it was last night or maybe 2 nights ago. He's like, probably need a burger from Gyro soon. It's like, you're not going in to dine and sit at a table. You're picking it up and going home.
Right,
Do you go through the
So-
drive-through or do you walk in?
Walk in,
Okay.
but you're just taking your bag and going.
Yeah.
But if you want to sit down,
No, it doesn't have to be. No, that's.
but that's a good question.
See, that's the thing. That's again why one of the big reasons we do this podcast is stuff like that. Because I've been to King Gyro's multiple times, numerous times.
Never thought to get a
Never
burger.
thought. Thank you. I've never thought to get a burger.
That is what I said.
I'm like I'm getting gyro, I'm getting ribs. I'm doing like they've got like a Polish dog, Italian beef. The Bloomington Town Planner is a community calendar owned and published by local residents John and Sharon Martin. Mailed out to Bloomington homes in December of each year, it features school schedules and community events. And don't forget the coupons at the bottom of the calendar. They'll save you money and help you decide on the next restaurant or retailer to check out here in the Bloomington area. Town Planner also has an online calendar which can be found at townplanner.com. Make sure to sign up for their weekly e-newsletter so you can stay on top of all the fun events going on around town. King Gyro's.
That's.
Huh?
I know.
I think this is one of the people that their website is all stuff that
I
they
can't
don't.
even find a picture of the burger.
Yeah,
because
well,
it's like a
those
secret.
are like stock
I will put
photos.
money that all those photos are stock photos. Yeah, none of that. Yeah,
Doesn't
Well,
feel
even on
like
like on
from the
Yelp.
menu wall.
yeah, absolutely. Emilia, you got a favorite burger?
We've been frequenting Brew Burger as like
Nice.
as
Oh yeah,
as
yeah.
a team. We just have been going there after meetings and stuff. Other than that, favorite burger in town. That's hard.
I know. And we talk about that. We're like, I feel like a burger. Where should we go? We have that conversation a lot.
We'll see Black Bean Burger from Nick's. If
Yeah,
that's if I'm going Black Bean.
I mean, that's been a
the place
staple.
to get.
I remember when I worked at the old Yogi's, there was a couple of the staff there. They're like, the black bean. They were vegetarian. They're like the black bean burger at Nick's.
And I'm not even a vegetarian anymore, but
yeah,
I still.
but it's just like made
it's
in
when I
house. It's
want
not
that,
a Morning
yeah.
Star product.
Yeah.
You're
It's still good. It's
doing
never
it right.
bad.
All right. Pizza. Other.
Okay.
Other.
I can do that.
Yeah,
That's
than
fine.
Osteria.
I can do that. Yeah. I'm like trying to think of the last one. I mean, Mother Bears. I want to I don't want to give something obvious. I'm like, what do I have? Spectacular pizza.
You can do obvious. There's nothing wrong with obvious.
That's true. But I will say, if I'm doing that thick crust, gotta be Mother Bears. That's my
THICC.
Yeah,
that's my
thick
jam.
crust.
Yeah, if you want to sit down and sit for a minute and talk with your family, Mother Bears.
Yeah, okay. But what if you just
What if you need to
sitting
just
at
call
home,
something
feeling
in
lazy?
because your 9-year-old said, "Can we have pizza?" Then we phone up a Pizza Express.
Yeah, there you go.
Breadsticks.
Was on a swinging pizza kick for a while.
Oh, see, I've never had that.
That
Well,
was
yeah, you
that
can
was my
now.
jam
Swinging
for
was
a little
great.
bit because
Now-
they're just giant pies. Also,
Are you
That
talking
was,
about when
the
they were
whole
in
thing.
their original building or when they moved over to where Max's place is now?
Oh, when they were, no, it's been years. So
Oh,
it's
yeah,
been
yeah.
the original building.
I
for
had
sure.
Max's for their soft opening. It was great. It was really, really good.
Really?
So I'm excited
Okay.
to see them,
I'll
Travers
have
and
to
Abel,
check
get
that
that
out.
rolling.
Good to know.
All right, breakfast.
Oh boy, Runcible spoon.
I was gonna say, gotta shout out the Spoon, our friendly neighbors.
Yeah, I went over there for the first time in a few months, just a week or two ago, and it was excellent service, like very, very good service.
yeah.
And the food was all just perfect. It was super quick. The menu, it wasn't Parents Weekend. It wasn't a game. It was a smaller menu than I remember. From a few months back, but I could be wrong. But it was all just, I think that's part of why they were able to crank it out super, super quick and high quality.
Just smaller menu. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you do a little, do it well.
So we got 2 spoons.
Oh, Gables
There's nothing-
Bagels.
Oh, I love Gables
Love
bagels.
a good bagel.
Have you done their pastrami or brisket there?
No,
No,
not at all.
Ooh.
Yeah. James
Okay.
Douglas, who's GM, I think that's his title at Buffalo's, has his own barbecue company
Really?
that does
Oh, cool.
the whitefish and like the smoked stuff for Gables Bagels.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and then Ed's been like, yeah, I've had people come in from the East Coast be like, your pastrami's better than anything. I'm like, all right. I mean, it's also Ed. But
What a character.
oh yeah, but it's the dude knows what he's doing. Buffalo's kicks ass.
Yep.
Gables Bagels is phenomenal. So he's got the golden touch.
Yeah.
Okay, what about date night? Favorite date? Or you had something you were
Oh
about to say?
no, I was thinking still breakfast, but I was like hangover breakfast. You want just skillet cozy table.
Oh yeah, see, I haven't been to Cozy Table in a while. No,
No.
No,
I know.
not for you.
I won't. I went there for quite a bit for a long time. I haven't been in a while. I won't. I don't want to disparage any.
Right, I don't
Because I know a lot of people that still
I
really
don't
love Cozy Table. So
I'm just mad that Wee Willie's is gone.
I know.
The Switchyard Park Wee Willie's,
Mhm.
where
South Walnut.
where I
Yeah.
grew up in the 90s. That's gone. So that's that.
I know it's tough. I still every now and then I've gone out to the Ellisville one, and I know not the same.
There's
for
no
ya.
blue booths. There's no hanging lamps. Yeah.
Yeah, I just liked how they had the South Walnut Wee Willie's, the bar top, and how it was
Yeah.
situated, and you just go in, pop. I'm a big bar top breakfast person.
Mm.
Like I love just going. I used to do it at Bob Evans way back in the day all the time, and it's just me and a bunch of 80-year-old men doing the crossword, and I just like how we doing, fellas?
Yeah.
Get the I forget what it was called, but it was like sour cream, ground beef, salsa. I think it was their like on the border omelet or something like that. And it was like,
That is on the border.
yeah. Made for an interesting rest of the day. All right, do you guys have a favorite date night spot?
Date night
I do want to
spot.
shout out Ames' partner, Chris, who's amazing. He does the advocacy for the Chamber of Commerce and is one of just my favorite people to ever run into. So
Yeah. He's fun.
yeah. He's fun. That is a good way to sum up. He is fun.
I think date night. I feel like we frequent some of the same date night spots.
Tell
We
me, I
do.
can't think of the last
I mean,
date night.
if we're really kind of balling out, we'll do Elm. The Elm we do C3.
Oh,
I
yes,
feel
sir.
like we
Thank
both
you.
do
Got
C3.
it.
I do love like late night date night, and everything's already kind of closed because we're getting off work late. I like dough and do some Korean fried chicken.
Yeah,
Ooh,
they're
fun.
a great late night spot.
Little udon. Oh, that's
And
I
across the
love-
street, Little Bowl, Little Bowl's the food truck. Bloomington.
Oh,
They reopened after closing the square. They had the Little Bowl food truck. They're staying open, I think, until like midnight or so.
good to know.
So they're
good
doing
to
the late
know.
night thing right across the street from Dell,
Oh.
and they're both great places.
I mean, if we're just talking 4th Street, I can go.
Yeah, you're like, let's go.
Siam House, Taste of India. We love Little Tibet. Oh my goodness.
Oh, yeah,
just anywhere on 4th Street. It's going to get me.
Momos.
Yes, anywhere.
Someone asked me the other day, they're like, what's your favorite comfort food? I was like, honestly, I think my favorite comfort meal, because we don't have like soul food in town.
Right.
So like traditionally I'm thinking like collard greens, meatloaf, mac and cheese, stuff like that. But for me, I think my biggest comfort meal in town is butter chicken, garlic naan, veggie pakora from Taste of India.
Oh yeah.
And mango, maybe like a mango juice.
That's the kicker.
And it's just
there are times I'm like, it's 11 o'clock in the morning. I'm coming to the Osteria, driving on 4th Street, and I can smell Taste of India in my car. Like I'm just driving past and I can smell it. It's
like I have the AC on low and I still smell it.
I want to go to
so
Taste of
good.
India just so I can take home a little baggie of samosas
Okay.
and chutney. Yeah.
I love their, with the veggie pakora, what I love about it is their tamarind chutney.
Yes.
It's whatever the green sauce is good too. It's kind of horseradishy or whatever. It reminds me of horseradish. But that tamarind chutney is the bee's knees.
If you order extra on the side, they give you like a whole bowl of it.
Really?
Just
Oh, good to know. Yeah, because
it's
I'm
like
going to start.
soup bowl size.
I'm going to be like sub the green for the tamarind, please. You know. Yep. Okay. Anyway, I mean, Elm, see-through, they're great date night spots.
Yeah.
I was looking at Elm for Valentine's Day. They're doing, but it's $1.80
menu.
a person.
Oh.
I'm just like, yeah, but I mean, Elm, they do a really good job. And this will come out after Valentine's Day. But yeah, I mean, the food looks incredible. But are you guys doing anything special for Valentine's Day?
We have specials, no fixed menu though. I think that.
Are you guys booked out already? Yeah. You're like, come on.
I believe when I checked today, we can do 12:30 or before. So
On Thursday. Friday lunch.
Friday
this
lunch
morning.
is totally
I was
booked
like,
too. Well,
we could do 2 o'clock as our latest for an early dinner.
Yeah, so maybe. Well, the good thing this is coming out after Valentine's Day. But we are doing some food specials. Are still kind of TBA. But I know Cody is planning to do a branzino, but I'm not entirely sure what all that will encompass.
It's one of those chefs, you just trust them and you'll be all right.
Absolutely. Yeah, we got some drink specials going on. We're gonna have a nice petite Syrah by the glass, as well as this really cool white blend called Pistoletta.
Sweet. Well, I can't wait for people to listen and hear about what they missed out on.
I know.
or they made it and they were like, that was great.
We will still have those. We're just doing price specials on those. We still have those throughout the year, so they'll be able to try those
even more
other
reason.
times.
Go check it out. Yeah, late Valentine's Day at Osteria Rago.
You can pay full price for these wines. We're gonna have on sale.
Okay. Do you guys have any like favorite spots to go and buy, grab a drink, or any other places that you'd like to show love, just in general here in Bloomington?
Grab a drink. Regular. I frequent the Vid quite a bit.
Got to be careful. I used to, young me would order doubles there, and they're like, you don't need to order a double. It's already a double.
You don't need to.
You dumbass. Yeah. They didn't say that part, but the eyes said it.
Yeah, I'm not really out on the town too much anymore.
I'm not out on the town.
Stores that I frequent. Shout out World Food Mart on
Second.
Love that place. I go maybe 2-3 times a week. Their wine selection is incredible.
So did they keep a lot of the wine that Sahara Mart had there?
Oh yes.
Okay, because I haven't been in since it switched. Not intentionally, I just haven't.
Don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure it's still same owners. It's the same. It's been the same people.
Oh, okay, cool.
Going in there since I started going in there when I was, I don't know,
I need to go.
2018.
I haven't been in there again since it was Sahara Mart, and I loved it. I just honestly, I forget about it. So
I'd say one of the best wine selections in town, store wise. Like as far as like I see stuff there, brands there that we carry in house.
What I remember back in my drinking days when I would go in there, that was the only place I could find a specific wine. And that's why I went in.
Yeah, great place. Yeah, I'm trying to think of like other stores that I frequent, but that's
Southside Kroger for me.
Yeah. Specifically.
That's here. We're here to highlight Kroger. You guys have been so much fun. I can't thank you enough for taking the time to come on, being our first 2025 episode, first episode of season 8, and just all the amazing work you guys do. Again, I mean it. One of my favorite restaurants, hand down, and you guys are a large part of that. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah, well,
Thanks a lot, Jordan.
you will see me very soon, Ames.
All right, cool.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Thank you.
What another fun episode, huh, gang? Thanks to Visit Bloomington, as always, for being our presenting sponsors. Thanks to Everywhere Science for this cool sign. Nate and team hooked it up. And thanks to you for watching so we can keep doing this. See you next Tuesday morning with another new episode of the No Dishes Podcast. This episode of the No Dishes Podcast was recorded, edited, and produced by Garrett Portinga of Green Hat Media in beautiful downtown Bloomington, Indiana.
No Dishes Media.
No Dishes Media.